This 200th episode from me to you is your permission slip to do the thing or be who you want to be. Everything will open up for you if you do that. I promise. Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast, a podcast helping women in career and life transitions achieve clarity on their next steps so they can transform uncertainty into an energizing next chapter. I'm your host, Kavita Ahuja, and the founder of It's My Time Now Coaching. If you're wondering what's next in your career or life, you are in the right place. Through solo and guest episodes, you'll gain practical tips, tools, and inspiration to help you uncover blocks, gain confidence, and be, do, and have what you want. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Hi, my friend, and welcome to this 200th episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. I frankly cannot believe that we have reached this milestone, and it makes me very emotional, if I'm going to be honest. I started this podcast on March 5th of 2021, which was International Women's Day, and I sit here today on May 1st, 2025, reflecting with such gratitude and appreciation for all that has transpired since then. I mostly want to thank you, my dear listener, for sticking with me, or even for tuning in for the first time. Without you, I truly don't know if I would have had the resilience to persevere. But when I hear your comments and you reach out to me or write a review on how this podcast has helped you, it makes me push through, even on some days when I feel like it's really tough. This morning, after my meditation, I seriously saw a red cardinal. And I wasn't sure what that meant until I looked it up. And what it is supposed to signify is that cardinals are seen as a messenger, that they convey messages of love, support, and guidance. I really needed that right now, and I feel your love and support, and I'm giving you mine. We can receive guidance from others, but I also want you to know that you need to trust your inner guidance to move you forward. My main message for you today is, as a result of this anniversary episode, is this. If you have something in your heart which is calling you, follow it, my friend. That is so important. We all have intuitions when we know this is the right thing to do, and for so many reasons, we stop ourselves. This 200th episode from me to you is your permission slip to do the thing or be who you want to be. Everything will open up for you if you do that. I promise. I was reflecting on how I actually got started on my own journey of reinvention, and it amazes me how much I have grown. My friends, I am so proud of myself. I know that sounds strange and maybe arrogant to some, but why don't we say that enough about ourselves? Are you proud of yourself? If so, say it out loud, because you should be. I literally started with nothing. I had few connections on social media. I didn't know the first thing about starting a podcast. I didn't know how to even go about starting my own business. I was in the corporate world for so long and going through the daily motions on autopilot for so long that this newfound freedom to do anything I wanted was extremely scary and daunting. If that is you right now, I hear you, I feel you, and I understand you. One of the greatest things I received, in addition to my inner guidance telling me that this was the path I needed to follow, was the support from my family. I'll never forget when we went on a family vacation and my two darling boys and husband spent one afternoon asking me, "What do you really want, Mom?" After years of me giving to them and seeing them grow into such remarkable young men, That simple question from them touched me very deeply. They gave me the permission to dream about what I really wanted for myself, not for others, but for myself. And that was so huge. So I want you to ask yourself, what do you really want? I give you permission to explore that. And don't be afraid of the answers that may arise from that question. They mean something. But I digress. Back to that first day in my new home office, starting my new business. I was so terrified, but also so excited at the same time. But I started. I started connecting with people. I listened and I watched and I learned from other people about what they were doing, what resonated with me. I gave myself the creative freedom to create something from nothing. I asked myself, what are my greatest strengths? What am I really passionate about? What do I value right now? Of course, I'm talking about finding my Ikigai, and I did that early on. My Ikigai was to tell women like you that you can do anything that you set your mind to, and to support women as they went through career and life transitions in the best way possible. As I started connecting with more people, I realized that stories needed to be shared. And that's when the idea of this podcast came about. When we realize that we are not alone in the challenges that we face, it really does help to move us forward. So I started reaching out to my connections to find out women who would be interested in sharing their stories. And it grew and grew. Interesting women with varied backgrounds who went through challenges of transition but came out the other side to tell about it. Some of my favorite early episodes early on are with, for example, Vicki Bradley, episode 3, who was my first beautiful guest. I loved my conversation with Lisa Matam, who's the founder of Sahajan, in episode 9. Or episode 10 with my dear friend Maria Leonard Olson about her 50 things after 50. I spoke with Sandra Pierce in episode 16 on women and money, with Carolyn Ray in episode 22 on women and solo travel. And the list goes on and on. Back then, my company was called Power, Purpose, Play. And that name came from inspiration given to me from one of my best friends, Sudha Devedi, on a fateful beach vacation. As we also talked about, what do I really want? And I thank her for that. And I thank all my family and friends who have supported me along the way. I often talk about my darling parents. My dad, who at 92 still rips the dance floor at my niece's recent wedding in Mexico. And my mom, who at 85, despite suffering a stroke 2 years ago, is now more active and positive than many 60-year-olds that I know. And of course, my biggest champion and love of my life, Samir. The point is that once you get started, things and people will come into your life that you never dreamed of that will support you and move you forward. If you've heard this podcast, you've heard me speak of anabolic or positive energy that gets released when we do things which are aligned with who we are. And that's what happened to me. And that will happen for you. And you will fail. And you will learn from your failures too. I fail all the time. I screw up. I wish I did things differently. But every failure is really a learning experience. When I listened to the earlier episodes, I cringed a little bit because I was inexperienced. And you'll notice that format has changed a bit since then due to my learnings. As my business evolved, so did my branding. And that's another message I want you to hear. It doesn't have to be perfect when you start. As you evolve and grow, things will change and you can make pivots which suit the circumstances. I rebranded from Power, Purpose, Play to It's My Time Now because I felt the concept of time was really important to share. It is our time now, and that felt right for me to rebrand. You can rebrand yourself anytime, my friend. So many people I've interviewed in the last 4 years for this podcast have remained good friends to me to this day, and I'll give you an example. One is an incredible woman by the name of Cynthia Hastings James. I interviewed her early on in episode 38. And ironically, the episode was entitled On Having Faith in Yourself and Jumping In with Both Feet. How ironic that I'm talking about this now, and that was the title of her episode. We have stayed in touch over the years, and I had the privilege of speaking to a wonderful group of women she has created called Ignite Her just last evening. The three main points for my talk, which I'd like you to hear and absorb, are as follows. Number one, you are not alone. The transitions and challenges that you are going through right now are perfectly normal and felt by many. And the beauty of learning from one another is that we can inspire one another to continue to move forward. Especially as women going through transitions, we have so many common challenges and triggers that it is so important for us to discuss them. The second point is that transitions in midlife, in fact, in any stage of life, are a huge opportunity, not a crisis. It's a huge opportunity for transformational growth if we view them as such. And the third point is that you can design your life moving forward with intention and purpose. Oftentimes, as women, especially, we tend to give, and give with little time to have ourselves as a priority. My coaching program is called It's My Time Now because it is your time now to do just that. So I have many plans and goals for myself moving forward. As I continue with this podcast, I want to hear from you. How has this helped you? What resonates with you, and what do you want to learn more about? What format and cadence is good for you? My goals are to continue this podcast, expand my coaching services in the best way that I can serve you, and to write a book about my experiences and my own transition. Those things will manifest. They have already manifested in my heart. The next few years for me will also be exciting ones on a personal front, as both my amazing sons will be getting married. My heart is full as they have chosen beautiful life partners, and as their lives evolve, so do ours, don't they? Our roles continue, my friend. We are mothers, we are daughters, sisters, wives, friends, and colleagues. We are so used to supporting others, our children, our parents, our friends, and family, and that is such a privilege and a blessing. But you can't forget to support yourself along the way. You can't forget your own identity, wishes, and your own desires. You have so much to give to yourself and the world still, my friend. Don't forget that. I'm here for you always and can't wait to see what lies ahead for you on your own journey of reinvention. With great love, I'll see you on episode 201.